No, yeah, well, please. Oh, great morning to everyone. Starting today, where I want the day to start. Yesterday I wanted to talk about baseball, so I'm going to start with baseball. Right now, we're looking at Phillies against the world right now to win the World Series. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at right now. It's like some get this day started. Talk about a couple of things. First, we start with the baseball. Then I'm gonna go to Cooper Flag, who have put a lot of NBA players on notice over the weekend. It's looking more and more that we're looking at a Phillies against the world scenario. And the reason why the Phillies are very good, number one, they were in the World Series 2 years ago. People seem to forget that. Number two, they have something that all these good teams, except for the Orioles, let's put the Orioles and Indians out of it, ironically. They have something that the Dodgers and Yankees don't have. And that's good pitching. You're wondering why the Yankees have faltered. You wonder why the Dodgers will put it back together again, but it's going to catch up to the Dodgers again. It's because the Indians, Orioles, and Phillies got strong pitching. And I always tell you, strong pitching will win World Series. And right now, the Phillies are in a league by themselves, folks. And uh, can the other teams catch it? Yeah, but I doubt it. I'm looking over the Phillies schedule coming up. This is what I mean. The Phillies, there's something about them. They lost 2 out of 3 in Atlanta. They got the Dodgers tonight. So you're gonna see something. Dodgers are in Philly tonight, and I think I'll do that. I think I'll be up here to do Dodgers Phillies tonight. What the 6:40? Yeah, I can manage that. I could push back the inmates run the asylum tomorrow. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I got the Dodgers right before the All Star break, and then the A's. Then next weekend they go to Pittsburgh, and then to Minneapolis. That will be interesting. Even though, and then here it is. In 2 weeks, the Indians come in. So you're gonna get a real test for the Phillies when the Indians come in 2 weeks. The Indians will be there, and then the Yankees come in. So the Phillies are going to end July with the Twins, the Indians, and the Yankees. You'll know a lot about the Phillies, the Yankees, and the Indians by my mom's birthday. You're going to know a lot. So right now, the Phillies are in complete control because they have it all. And I know people love Otani, but and then they go to Seattle. Look at this. Then they go to LA again. Okay, all right. So the Phillies from, let me tell you right now, the Phillies from July 22nd to I even throw in Arizona because they got four with Arizona. They're gonna have a 3 week brutal schedule stretch for the Phillies coming up. 3 weeks in a row, beginning right after the All Star, the series after the All Star game when Minnesota goes there. Wow. So we're gonna see a lot about all these teams going up against the Phillies, including the Dodgers. They're gonna play the Dodgers 6 times in 9 days. So you're gonna know a lot about the American League. I mean the National League. The American League, I think Baltimore. Let me see when they play Baltimore. They gotta go back to Atlanta and to Kansas City. So their schedule, folks. And then the Astros. Good God. Then the Braves again. The Phillies from July 22nd to the end of August is probably the roughest stretch I have seen a team have in a long time. Then in mid-September, they're going to go to Milwaukee. Then their schedule for the last week of the season, uh, it eases up. Even though they got the Mets in September 7 times, they got to go to Milwaukee. So the point is, the Phillies, whoever the schedule maker is for MLB, they really did a number on the Phillies. Now, Phillies got a schedule. If they get through this, they will have to be. If they run this gamut right here, folks, they have to win 100 games. They have to win 100 games to win them. And I don't think they can with this stretch. So, I know Cleveland and the Yankees played a rematch here in the Bronx in late August. So, they go there. Like I said, baseball right now is the Phillies' world, but we're going to find out from July 22nd to basically the end of August, and then it gets tough again in mid-September for the Phillies. Let me take a look at this real quick. In NBA news, no one cares about Summer League, by the way. I don't even pay attention to it. To me, it doesn't exist. Miss Melina's in the building. What's up, honey? Good morning to you, Miss Melina. Woo. I'll read what she said in a second. She said something about Quigley on the Knicks now, by the way. Did I say Knicks? That's what my mind is this morning. So he's on the Raptors. Here we go. All right, Scotty Barnes signed his extension. the Olympic team is announced. You know, when it comes to the basketball, a lot of people think the three teams are going to get medalists are France, U.S., and Canada. I, I'm gonna pull the upset. Canada to me will win the gold. Canada's players are younger and more athletic than the American team, and I think America should be happy that their pros are playing. I tell you right now, their college players suck. They're college players. No one knows who they are. No one cares. Speaking of that, I'm glad Melina brought that up. Cooper Flag is the biggest sensation that people, America, if you think certain ethnic group loves Caitlin Clark, wait till they see Cooper Flag. 6'10", can do it all. And he put on a display against the Olympic team over the weekend. And people are still buzzing. A lot of GMs said that Flag was clearly the best player on the court. And you don't think, uh, I was listening to a Trailblazers show last night, and my man said, everybody knows they're tanking this year to get Cooper Flag. It is going to be interesting. Spain is playing France today. I know my mother's going to be watching that at her house. I know that. I definitely know that. Mom will be big now. Aside promising us another win, let's see what happens this time around. Okay? She's talking about Masai Ujiri, man who runs the entire Raptor organization, basically. Uh, you know what the problem is with the Raptors? And it's unfortunate. Like the Flames have found out in the NHL, a lot of American players just don't want to play in Toronto. And that's why they get these foreign players who are damn good. But then they get tired of it if it's not winning anymore. And I think Ujiri will build it again. Raven, you went to went up to Toronto this weekend, huh? Had a good time, eh? Wow, good for you, Raven. But you made the trip to Toronto. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Oh, you did. Oh, because the storms. Okay. Well, beginning this year, I believe Indianapolis is going to have in 25, 26. They're going to have SummerSlam. They're going to have Royal Rumble in 26 and WrestleMania. Uh, Pat McAfee worked that out with Triple H, and Triple H announced that about 3 weeks ago. But Indianapolis is going to get a triple billing in 25, 26 in the WWE. So congratulations to Indianapolis. So, uh, but let me get back to Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag put on a performance for the ages, and we launched our pay-per-view in October. It's in Atlanta now. Why would why would Triple H put that in Atlanta? Atlanta is such a boring city. You know what I mean? Such a war effect. Why would you do that? You couldn't get you couldn't pay me to go to it. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't pay me to go to Georgia. It means we got a raw show, I guess. Okay. Raven thinks they're saying that the Dallas Metroplex area is going to do a raw instead of a pay-per-view event in a couple of months. But let me get back to Cooper Flag. Are you getting a pay-per-view down in Dallas in the holiday season? Uh, Flag was this sensation. I mean, they're talking about Zach Eddy's strong performance. Knicks interested in trading for Walker Kessler. I would do that on the Knicks. Jamal Murray to wait on Nuggets extension to after the Olympics. Cooper Flag, on the other hand, there he is right there, the handsome Cooper Flag, totally destroyed over the weekend. Cooper says Jordan is the best player of all time and Kawhi Leonard is the best defender of all time. Cooper, I guess you never heard of someone named Dennis Rodman. Oh, man. John Morant. Boy, I haven't heard that name in a long time. John Morant. And Donovan Mitchell had a reaction to Zach Eddy's tip at the gun. So Eddie had 14 points, 15 rebounds. A lot of people believe that Memphis is going to have a big bounce back. I won't buy it. The summer league crap continues. Cooper Flag says, I'm looking at some of the highlights right now. It was absolutely sensational. Boy, there are teams tanking right now to get him. So people buzzing about that summer league Jazz and Memphis last night. Man, Embiid, shut the hell up. You're from what, Cameroon? You're not American, bro. Only reason why Americans put you on the team because they need a big man. Cut it out. All right. Dubaks and Saric got into a bar fight yesterday morning in Croatia. They were fighting. Those two were fighting two other guys, I guess. As people are bragging about their rookies. You got these youngin' wannabes, the haters of Michael Jordan, still complaining that Jordan deserved Defensive Player of the Year. These people, if you're not alive to see it, just shut up. Nobody wants to hear from you, wannabe wannabes. Oh, yeah, you know, we're gonna see that man. Let me take a look at him right now. You're gonna see that man right there. Hey, Auntie, what's up, bro? You're gonna see that man right there in a couple of weeks, folks. Get ready for training camp as the Chiefs will try to do the impossible dream. Auntie in the building. See, folks, when I'm focusing on something, I don't see unless I notice Auntie in the building. Good to see Auntie. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody out there. Glad that we can spend some time together. There goes the link. Uh, that man is trying to do the impossible dream, as Raven asking Auntie when is the next purge. So drop that link and Auntie wants to pull up. Oh, you wonder if people want to see Kansas City 3P. I don't think they will. I think there's still unanswered questions on offense. Uh, I'm not a big fan of Isaiah Pacheco. He runs too hard for me, even though I do like hard runners, but he runs too hard. What? Uh, but I do see the Chiefs winning that division comfortably. Kansas City is a force, but better get used to it. I haven't looked at NFL news in so long, but they'll be back next week, so I might as well start looking at it. NBA is all about the summer league. No one cares about it. I'm being dead honest. No one. But Flag was tremendous over the weekend, and a lot of GMs said he was clearly the best player on the court. Again, I don't listen to BS. Steelers' greatest roster of all time. Yeah, well, when people jump on your bandwagon, young Demario Douglas is putting the work in for the Patriots. A lot of the media, again, all over CJ Stroud. Just looking around. Let's see if people come up. Nope. There's the boy Mace up here. He gave and he gave the dates next weekend for the purge. Everybody, it's like something you've never seen on Earth on social media. Auntie's masterpiece, the purge, the summer purge, coming not this weekend, next weekend, 11 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock on the West Coast. Auntie's purge. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. Auntie want to pull up the can, Melina if she wants to, Raven if he wants to. Uh, so everybody enjoy that next weekend. I will peek in as I always do. Hit Auntie with a nice donation, making people happy. And people do love those purges, folks. Let's see, they do. Get back to the football. Drop the link so people can. CJ Stroud, people still they're in love with him. Cameron Sutton, the cornerback of the Steelers, has been suspended 8 games for domestic battery. That came over yesterday afternoon. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys fan, is out of his boot and will be ready in 2 weeks when training camp opens up. Training camp is in 2 weeks, and that's when you see your boy here go into overdrive. 9 months of pro football. Joe Burrow has an awesome uh, 18-game schedule idea, including 2 buys. Week 13, the entire league is off to play the Pro Bowl. That makes a lot of sense. Every NFL team brought in over $400 million last year. The power of the shield, folks. And that's the difference between the logo and the shield. The logo is garbage, the shield is real. $13 billion the NFL pulled in this past year. Brett Favre was the first NFL player that the casual fan got tired of. Brandon Ayuk looking at the Redskins film, watching Jaden Daniels. And Jerry Hughes is still in the league. He's with the Houston Texans now. We'll see Houston week one in Indianapolis. By the way, in here. That'll be our game week one. Eagles and Packers that Friday night when we start the whole new regime in here. Can't wait for that. So we'll get ready for that. September the 6th. September the 12th will be in Miami for the Dolphins and the Bills. And then that Sunday, we'll have a damn good doubleheader up here. For the first game, we'll be in Lambeau for the Packers home opener against Anthony Richardson. And then the late game, we will be in Denver for the Broncos and the Steelers grudge match. Russell Wilson. Steelers are not home until week. Pittsburgh's not home until week 3. I remember the Packers were like that last year. They didn't play a home game the week 3, and they played the Saints. Steelers, very interesting for the black and gold. Hall of Fame game, I believe, is it 2 weeks from tomorrow? I mean, 2 weeks from today. Texans and Bears. I don't want to see the team on Pittsburgh. Where is Pittsburgh? Oh, here. Let's take a look at Pittsburgh. I know they're at Atlanta, and then they go to Denver. Home for the Chargers. That's interesting. Then at Indianapolis, and then they play the Cowboys on a Sunday night. Well, they get the Raiders, Giants, and Jets before they get their bye. Then they got the Redskins, the Ravens for the first time at Cleveland, at Cincinnati, home for Cleveland. So they get rid of Cleveland quick. Who they end the year with the Bengals. Okay, so Ravens and the Browns in the schedule. Boy, Steelers. From this is their last group of games, folks. Ravens at home, at Cleveland, at Cincinnati, Cleveland at home, at the Eagles, at the Ravens. Home for the Chiefs and Bengals. Steelers, you better get off to a great start. Wow. 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 So I got up to date now. Ooh, let me see. So next weekend is the purge. We'll plug it in here. You know that. We'll plug the purge. Next 10 days. We did the NHL yesterday. And one team I forgot to talk about was the Washington Capitals, who has basically bought a whole new team for Ovechkin. Pittsburgh and Crosby should be signed any day now. Be a 3-year extension for Sid the Kid, one of the most underrated superstar athletes in America. And we'll do this show tomorrow night. There it is. Where the inmates always run the asylum, that is the NBA. Where the inmates always run the asylum. And those 4 guys are on new teams now. Klay Thompson with the Mavericks, Paul George with the Sixers, DeMar DeRozan in Sacramento. And I think Miles Bridges went back to the he went back to the prophetic Hornets. Oof. So NFL is close, folks. Still that in the finals. Get back here. Let me do this. I did the Maple Leafs yesterday. Gave them the salute. Oh, the last one I did, really? Wow. I've been gone for a minute. I'll tell you that right now. I'll find it. Sunday night, I'll be on 6:25 to 7 Eastern Time to do this show. 305. This is for him. 305 will be back Sunday night. He's been gone for 3 weeks. He hit me up. I said, I'm gonna do it. I sent him the thumbnail. He said, buddy, I'll be there. There it is. Yeah, yeah, I'm glad Raven brought that up. The young Viking DB, if you didn't hear, was killed last weekend in Baltimore in a horrible car accident. Very predicting horrible rainstorms in South Florida. Young man lost his life because I haven't been on. That's why I didn't give him a memorial like I should have. And that's my bad. Glad Raven reminded me of it. Fourth round draft pick of the Vikings. A horrible loss. Angel Reese knew him well. They grew up in the Baltimore area together. That's why the young man is from Baltimore. Kyrie Jackson, folks. My God, so young. Just 24 years old, folks. And God bless him. All right, young man bet $250 on Sam Donald to win the MVP. And if he does, this young man will get 75K. Good luck to that young man. Wow. Kyrie Jackson, we lost him over the weekend. Not this past weekend, the weekend before last. So, get back to his funding. Yes, it was very sad. His friends were going to go pro eventually as well. Yeah, sad. All right, Manzano's here. What's up, Tony?
Hey, Uncle, how are you?
I am good this morning. I did the baseball and I was doing the Phillies right now. I was running away with everything, and I said I took a look at their schedule, and from July 22nd to August 31st, I have never seen a team have such a tough schedule.
Hey,
So
hey, this is I've been trying to get this question answered. I'm gonna. give my perspective, but I want your perspective. No matter like for baseball specifically, no matter like if if the like if the adjust if coaches, hitting coaches and pitching coaches are making adjustments with players and they seem not to be taking, no matter what adjustments they make, if the player's in his own head, do adjustments really matter? Like because
You know what the problem is with that? Something they never tell you on me, but I know it goes on. A lot of these players have their own hitting coaches that is not on the team, so they don't really respect the
the
hitting
coaching
coaches that are
staff,
already on the team.
yeah, no, and to me, I'm gonna use myself as an example. I used to play competitive soccer when I was in high school, like club soccer, and
Yeah,
my coaches after every game, I would make they would make adjustments with me. I played striker and stuff like that, so I would uh and it would seem that none of the adjustments would work, and I would ask my coach, why isn't this working? And he says, are you in your own head second guessing every decision and you're hesitating in the final third? Is it mental or is it physical for you? And I've said it's probably mental. Like no matter what adjustments you make, if you're in your own head,
yeah,
nothing's gonna work. Like, do you
that
agree
is
with
true.
that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
And I think baseball is the most mental sport in the. People forget. I think baseball is more. It's like 75% mental, maybe 45% physical. I think baseball is the most mental. Baseball and soccer are the two more most tackle tactically advantaged sport for advanced sports in in sports in general. Do you agree? For a player,
yeah,
people forget how hard it is to understand. Like pitchers have to know where they're gonna be pitching, but the catcher specifically, if the catcher is in his own head receiving, like you don't know where the the if the pitcher's in his own head, it actually affects the catcher too. Do you agree?
yeah,
Because the catcher doesn't know where the pitch is going to be going and stuff like that. So it affects him mentally too because that's where all these pass balls happen. The because the catcher, no matter how in tune he is with the pitcher, if the pitcher's in his own head, it affects the catcher mentally because he doesn't know where the pitcher's pitch is going to be going and stuff like that. And I think
yeah,
that's how football is too. Like if the if the receiver if the no matter how in tune a receiver and a quarterback is, if the quarterback is second guessing himself and the receiver doesn't know where the ball is going to be going, if it's going to be low or high or anything like that, what else can the receiver do?
yeah. You're right about that.
And people forget sports is more mental than physical in general. Do you agree?
Oh,
Like
definitely, no doubt. I agree. What's up, Anthony? Good morning, bro.
What's up, big dog?
How you doing, man?
Uh, just a little on the tired side. What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm
you
just chilling. I went over each sport, man. Zano just asked me a good question about uh, is sports more pro sports? Is it more physical or mental? And I do agree with what he said. I do think it's a lot of it is mental. If
Yeah,
you
it's
have,
mental.
yeah, if you have an ego, like in basketball, you're Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, if you didn't hear this, folks, letting LeBron know off the bat that if games are close, he's the go-to guy on this team, and he didn't want to hear it from anybody else. You know what that tells you, folks? That young man believes in his ability.
Yes and no. Yes and no. It tells me that that young man doesn't understand the hierarchy and the order of operations because if I mean, and you know, bro, I will rip LeBron to shreds. But bro, you're on a team with LeBron James. You're on a team with Steph Curry. You're on a team with Kevin Durant. You're on a team with Anthony Davis. You're on a team with Devin Booker. The coaches are Tyronn Lue, Steve Kerr. Who the hell else is on the coaching staff, bro? They got like an all-star coaching staff too. Um, dude,
Boasters on that stuff.
Spolstra. Yeah, I saw Spolstra, bro. The ball's going wherever the ball is going. That's it. So miss me with that. Oh, I want the ball. I ain't not Kevin Durant. Get the fuck out of here.
The,
Get the fuck out.
Okay.
I
Come
think there's
on.
a difference
Whatever,
between
whatever,
arrogance and
whatever
confidence.
Spo draws up, whatever Steve Kerr draws up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm taking the last shot. We're down by 2. I'm taking the last shot. We're not gonna pop out Steph Curry in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Auntie, for you, is there a different when a player? Is there a difference between a player being arrogant and confident? Like, because I've always assumed they're the same thing.
Yeah, it's a difference. It's a big difference.
Brother
Um,
Love in the building.
I mean, whew. Okay, like, all right. So I would say like a player like Terrell Owens is like a prime example. When
He's
you talk about
confident. I
football,
would say I don't think Terrell is arrogant. I think he's confident in his abilities. He
and
knows
that,
what he can do.
but that's what I mean. It was so borderline. It was so on the fence. Like it was so close where it's confidence and then it's arrogance where people don't really know what the difference is at times. With Terrell Owens, which is one of the reasons why he had the reputation he had. I would agree with you. I think it was more so confidence than anything. But
It's
that
just
can come off
media hated
that can
Terrell.
come off as arrogance. And when you're talking about team sports, changes things.
Yeah,
There you
no,
go,
and
and Brother Love saying what's up to both of us.
What's up,
yeah,
brother love?
yeah, and to me, I think it all is how the media perceives a player. I think the media just hated Terrell in general. The media hated Terrell. That's why people thought he was arrogant.
Tony,
As
Tony, I'm gonna be real with you. Terrell Owens' problem is and was he was a me guy. He split locker rooms. He was a great player. His problem was, and this is the worst thing you can do in sports. He had never had respect for his quarterbacks, and he always threw his quarterbacks under the bus.
wait a minute, I disagree. He started
Oh,
crying
yes, he
during
did.
press conferences, defending Tony Romo. What do you mean?
And it was over at that point.
Exactly. He
It
threw
was
Tony
over.
Romo under the bus because he kept throwing the ball to Jason Witten.
Yeah.
And that's
Which
why Dallas got rid of him.
and why is that? Because Jason Witten don't drop balls.
There you
And not,
go.
and I mean it just is what it is. Like, come on, bro, it's Jason
Yeah.
Witten. But I mean, he put a lot, especially them diva receivers, and so he put a lot of pressure on his quarterbacks. He really did.
Oh yeah, he destroyed Jeff Garcia. He
Jeff
ruined Jeff
Garcia,
Garcia's career.
yeah,
He
Randy
especially.
blew
Moss
up
was like
behind him.
that
No,
too. Randy was like that.
no,
Randy
no.
was.
Randy was good
Actually,
too.
Randy wasn't.
Correct. Listen,
Those quarterbacks love Randy because they could just throw that bitch up and he get under it.
damn right.
Saying he just get under it.
It's-
But I mean he now
Oh,
I
my
think
mistake.
I think
Antonio
Randy
Brown.
I
Antonio
think I
Brown.
think Randy Moss was extremely confident, rather
yeah,
than arrogant. He was just confident, like,
yeah.
it was what it was. But he wouldn't tell quarterbacks to like Randy Moss wouldn't tell quarterbacks to force it to him. Just keep giving me the ball. Nah, bro.
I meant to
Just
say
throw
AB.
it so nobody can. He was like, either I'm gonna get it or nobody gonna get it.
I meant
I'll
to
Right.
get
say
it.
AB.
But huh?
AB.
AB was a great player, Tony. His AB's problem was he went cuckoo somewhere.
Yeah,
He lost his mind somewhere, bro.
it's the money.
He lost his mind somewhere. That
These
guy.
guys get money, man, and they think they're like king of the world. That's the problem. They get a little bit of money, they ain't never had it, and they think they're king of the world, and
So,
they think it's never gonna run out.
so Auntie, I I asked I asked Uncle the question earlier for you. When
But
it comes to you play basketball at some sort of level, no matter how many adjustments the coach makes with you, if you're in your own head and you're second guessing yourself, do adjustments really matter?
hell yeah. But I'll be honest, like, because I'm a small guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a small guy with long arms and a pretty decent IQ. So there were a lot of coaches growing up that didn't even I didn't get off the bench. And then, the coach that gave me the confidence and the playing time and put me on the court and let me know was some old white dude at a private school, bro. They came from a private school. Was like, yo, you're perfect. Like you're just what I want. You know?
Yeah.
And because of that, we beat the hell out of all the hood kids and everything else. I wasn't a super athlete or anything like that. So, coaches know how to get the best out of what they got. Great coaches do.
No. The reason why I use myself as an example.
But I'm just saying, like when I played for coaches that were ex college stars and shit, man, fuck out of here, bro. I didn't even see the court. I didn't even see the
Oh
court.
no.
You know? For real, I didn't even get on the court, bro. I was just a cone at practice, bro.
There you go.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, you played other sports. If you had position coaches and stuff in football, if no matter what adjustments, if the player's in his own head, do I'm not talking about the coach having confidence in you. I'm saying the adjustments you're making in game. If you're you're second guessing yourself throughout the season, do adjustments really count for anything if you're in your own head?
Hell yeah, because a coach's job is to kind of hide your weaknesses. Hide your weaknesses and even shield you from your own weaknesses at times. Hell yeah.
Because like I said, I use myself as an example. I played club soccer, and I was a striker. And if I second guess myself, if I was second guessing myself and the adjustments weren't taking, the coach would ask me if it's physical or if it's mental. I say it's mental because I feel that I hesitate when I get
All right.
into the final third.
So let me explain, right? All right. So I had coaches that because I wasn't a super athlete or any of that stuff, but I could play, so I could make a team, but I couldn't really get on the court. Because of course you can't really guard anybody, and you don't have any physical advantages against anybody. You know. So that gets in your head. It's like, damn, bro, I'm here, but I'm really not. It's deep. But then when I get with this other coach, I learned a bunch of different nuances to zone defense, helping the helper. I became a better team player. Like I learned how important communication is, on the court, on both ends of the court, like for real. And it really didn't. The
You
the fact
became
that
more
I wasn't
tactical.
yeah, I was about to say the fact that I was like I wasn't a super athlete, it didn't matter anymore. I was actually able to use that stuff to my advantage. You know, I purposely, at sometimes it was good to just let guys get past you because you send them into a wall. Then you
Yeah.
send them into a wall. They think they got you, but they're really trapped. Now they run right into a trap. You know. So you know what I'm saying. I mean, you learn how to be cerebral, but good coaches will tell you how to get that out of you. Other coaches, they'll just tell you, yo, you're not good enough.
I'm going to use a perfect example in the NBA. JJ Barea did an interview recently. He said he was always a few steps, like as a point guard. If he knew a point guard was more athletic than him, he was a few steps ahead of that athletic point guard because his his mental game as a point guard was far ahead of a guy who was a super athlete that wasn't mentally there tactically, that he would actually force them into a mistake and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's a different. Or when you know the coach has confidence in you, it's a different approach that you take when you get on the court or the field, as opposed to, okay, we just waiting on you to screw up so I could pull you out.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you know what
no,
I'm
no.
saying? Because there are a lot of coaches, and Mace knows what I'm talking about, that'll just pull a guy out of the game as soon as he doesn't do something perfectly. You know,
Phil
and that
Jackson
that
was
that
like that.
that'll
I remember
that'll.
Phil doing that.
I'm just saying that'll weigh a lot on your psyche. It can.
Yeah, learning through your mistakes is a good thing. Like if a coach, like you said, if a coach doesn't have confidence in you, and constantly pulling you out, that gets into your head and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That seriously gets
Well, you
into
know,
your
yeah, you know, as soon, and you, if you know, coach only pulled me out because I made this mistake, and as soon as I make one mistake, I can't make a mistake, and then if that's always on your brain, you're gonna make a mistake, like you're just going to because you're overthinking it. I always say, I'm like, bro, this is what you practice so that way you can play, and when I say play, that it's a game. You're supposed to be having fun while you do it. So if you know what I'm saying, when you practice perfectly or and you practice, you go out there, everything is instinctual and you can just go out there and have fun and it can flow. But if it's like work out there, bro, it's tough.
see see, and this is where I don't get why NBA players today don't care about practice as much as they used to. Like because I the player I bring up because of it's the most recognizable quote was AI when he uh, uh, a interviewer asked him about practice. He's like, practice? I don't really care about practice. Like
Well,
was that
practice
taken
was
out of
never a big
context
deal.
when he was saying that?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't taken out of context because he said it. He was up, bro. Mace remembers when that I watched that interview live. I remember it uncensored, dude, because it was uncensored. He was cussing up a storm and all that shit, bro. And the reporters were just feeding him, and he's up there laughing, and they're just feeding him more and more energy, and he just got real comfortable talking to them damn reporters. But that was the real AI. He didn't give a shit about practice, bro. He didn't care. He didn't think it was important. Now, in AI's defense, practice on the offensive end is kind of like a waste for him. It just is. Um,
When
yeah.
it came to his defense, it seemed like is what I'm talking about.
Well, the reason why I say it's a waste is because the hell are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there. I mean, everything on the offense is just giving him the ball, letting him do his thing. So you're not gonna give the other players any type of confidence, and there are no real plays y'all are running. Everything is just get AI the ball and everybody get rebounded position. You know, that's it. So of course there were, but that was on Larry Brown. You know, that was on Larry Brown and the other coaches that he had to come up with different schemes and ways to challenge his best players and the other players too. That was on them. You know, but to just let him come into practices hungover, drunk, you know what I'm saying, and let him just sleep on the damn bleachers and shit. You know what I'm saying, which is what I heard a lot of those practices were. He
Jesus,
he would just come in hungover, drunk, pass out on the bleachers, and everybody else would be doing their thing. You know,
coming from
you can't do
Jimmy's
that.
Cafe
Yeah,
in New York.
I'm just saying you can't do that. And that's one
That's
of the
when you
reasons
know the
why.
player the that's when you know the like and that's another thing I've noticed
But
too
that's
with
one of the reasons
sports.
why he underachieved over the
Yeah,
course of his career.
yeah, no, and this is what I noticed too. If players get too comfortable with a coach, the the players start like ignoring the coach during practice because they can do whatever they want. Like not during practice, like during practices. If a player gets too comfortable and the coach is not challenging them, the player starts tuning the coach out during practices, and they do whatever they want too. That and I think that's what's happening with athletes today. They're so comfortable with their coaches that the the coaches are not really challenging them enough to the point where
Yeah, keep talking, Tom.
I'm listening to you.
yeah no to the point where that's where it affects the performance on the field because the player is so comfortable not listening to the coach that he's going into his old habits. Do you see
Mm.
that too?
All right, now football's a different game.
I'm
It's a
talking
different
about
game.
basketball.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't play as much football. I did play a little bit of football, but I didn't play as much. So, but I do understand it. It's just a different game, bro. All of the guys got to be on the string for the most part, bro. They have to be on the same page,
From
bro.
the
It's not
basketball
self-tuning.
perspective.
But not from a basketball perspective, it's a little more individual um aspect of things. It becomes a team thing at times, you know, at times, but it is also an individual thing because everybody's got specific skill sets. Um and there is a time when sometimes you can just take the damn game over, you know, from your position. Just take it the hell over. No matter what position you're playing. So, I mean, bro. This is why coaches have to be creative. They have to come up with creative ways to challenge their players, and they have to come up with creative ways to allow players to challenge each other and hold each other accountable. Like that. That is very important. I know they talk a lot about Phil Jackson, but coaches like Phil Jackson,
Pat
which,
Riley.
Pat Riley. I would even go a step further. When Jordan came in, Kevin Lockery. He came up with a lot of ways to challenge, you know, like Michael Jordan, like to
See,
challenge him in practice, and so did Pat, so did
Popovich.
well, no, I'm talking about so did Phil Jackson. He came up with ways to challenge Jordan, you know, where it's like, look, I know, yeah, you get all types of whistles game time, but I ain't blowing it here in practice. I ain't blowing
If
it.
you're such a system coach,
I'm
how do
letting
you adjust within?
I'm letting Judd Bushler and Steve Kerr get all up in your shit. Okay. I'm letting not Larry Brown, Randy Brown get in your shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
Horace Grant.
and I ain't calling no foul. No, I'm just saying that's who would have to guard him in practice. I ain't calling no foul like they would in the damn game. So that's how you get the most out of Michael and get him used to having to play through whistles because he's protected, on the court. Let's just keep it real. Yeah, I think LeBron is protected today. Trust me, Jordan was protected in the '90s too. He was.
Kobe was too.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. Kobe used to get beat up too, but not like Jordan and not well, I wouldn't
Braun.
even say not like Braun. Like Braun isn't even. I don't even think Braun is protected like Jordan was. Jordan was a special case. Remember, even when Magic said you can't touch Michael, it's a foul.
Oh,
Remember
Yeah, you
that?
can't
He
touch
was
him,
it
bro.
was the
You
truth.
breathe on Jordan, it's a foul, bro.
That was true though.
Ask the Knicks, they'll tell you. Ask the
Yeah.
Knicks, they'll tell
Bro,
you.
I watched the game against the Miami Heat in the playoffs, bro. This motherfucker Jordan tripped over Rodman's foot, and they call Zoe for the foul.
what?
Okay,
What?
yeah, he
True.
tripped over Rodman's foot, and
It's true.
they called Zoe for the foul.
I don't remember that one.
I do.
That
It
was
was in
a
the
phantom
playoffs.
foul right there.
I,
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like that. So I'm just saying I've never really seen a player protected like Michael Jordan. So what I'm saying? Phil Jackson had a way of being able to, what I'm saying, challenge him in practice. Like I said, I ain't blowing the whistle. Same with Kevin Lockery, where it's like, dude, what was that drill? He said they would when they would run their little scrimmage, they would play, a game up to 10 or 11 or whatever. And it'd be first team versus second team. And of course Jordan's on the first team. You know what I'm saying? They would get up like 8 point, 8, 9 points to 2 or whatever, and then coach would just blow the whistle and put Jordan on the second team. Just switch.
See,
You know, just
and
switch.
what I'm
And
wondering, how did they
and
make the
not
game
but
interesting for a guy
hey,
like
but
Shaq, who
Jordan
was so
what Jordan
dominant?
said, hold up. What Jordan said how it worked was he was like how that worked for him. He said that pissed him off at first, like, yo, the hell, you hate me? Like, I don't want to play with the second unit, and then you making me like I worked so hard to get ahead, and then you making me play from behind all of a sudden. Damn that. I'm gonna just bounce back, win this game too. And he was like, and after practicing like that, it became instinctual to just turn it on. No
Jordan
matter what the
knew
situation was, I could
the
just turn it on. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way, and also it gives the second unit that confidence because they're playing with Michael Jordan.
the
You know?
Chicago Bulls is the one team is one of the few teams you ever see be a dynasty and no one liked each other.
Yeah, no, because I can't. I think it was during the. I forgot what the documentary was. His documentary that they had on ESPN, the Michael
The
Jordan
last
documentary,
dance.
The Last Dance. I think Scotty said Michael would close himself off. Most of the players on the team hated him. Actually,
Yeah, yeah,
bro,
it's true.
those were genuine tears that you saw come out of Michael's eyes. Because he knows what he put them guys through, man. He
you're
knows.
talking about Jordan.
Yeah,
For a guy
Jordan.
like Shaq,
There
Yeah.
were tears that came out of his eyes when he listened to what those dudes had to say, and he remembered that, and he's like, I had no choice
yeah,
because this is what it takes to win.
for a guy
Kobe
like
was the same
Shaq, who's
way.
bigger than most of the like for a
The
guy like
the
Shaq.
difference is I don't think Kobe ever would have shed a tear though, bro. I was
No,
just
no,
gonna
No.
no.
say
With Shaq, with him being so dominant and
just
bigger
because
than
Kobe
most of
just
the
didn't
centers
give
he
a shit,
played
bro.
against, how would coaches make it like for a guy like Shaq? How would coaches make it interesting for him because he was bigger than most of the centers around the time he was playing?
No, I mean, look, I mean, okay, I really don't know. I never really watched too much Shaq practices or heard much about it in practice. I know what I would do. If I were the coach, I'd be like, bro, your dunks and your points are worth one. Fuck that. Everybody else's shots are worth two. Yours are just worth one, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's it. So, I mean, I would do that so that way it forces him to start finding other guys. It forces him to, you know what I'm saying? I would say anything inside of the paint is only worth one for you in practice. Everybody else's points are worth two and three.
So it wasn't exaggerated that Kobe and Shaq hated each other,
Nah, I don't think they hated each other. They
or was
just like
that
you
the
said.
media just exaggerating
No,
everything?
it was really big egos. It was really big egos. I think Shaq was great with Kobe. He didn't have a problem with Kobe, but Kobe just didn't like the fact that Shaq just didn't he didn't put as much work and effort into it. He didn't put
It's
as much work
sad.
in staying in shape. He didn't work on the moves like Kobe did. He just didn't put the same amount of work in.
And
Because, like I said,
and I agree with Shannon Sharp. Uh, and I've always said this up here. Shaquille O'Neal never fulfilled his potential.
Hell
I
no.
agree with Shannon Sharp. He didn't fulfill his potential. He was a bully because no one can cover him on the planet, especially when he went to the
Basically,
Lakers, bro. I was telling Auntie this 3 months ago.
yeah.
I was watching highlights of him against Duncan and Robinson, bro. And he hated David Robinson,
Yeah,
bro.
he hated him. But he was doing that shit to him in Orlando too, though, bro.
Yeah,
He used to do
God.
that shit, bro. Every time he would get a hold of David Robinson, he would just. Oof. I remember what he did to that motherfucker in the All Star game in
Yeah,
Cleveland.
but
I'm like, damn, bro,
yeah.
it's an All Star game, bro. You ain't have to do him like that.
But you know
Damn,
what? You know what I found out?
damn.
Auntie, you know what I found out about that series, though?
Mhm.
That's when the Spurs swept them and closed the forum, bro. He couldn't believe. You could tell by Shaq's reaction. He couldn't believe how good Tim Duncan was, bro. That was Duncan's second year, bro.
Mm.
yeah, no,
Duncan, that is one of the best. People should Google that. Lakers Spurs Game 3, 1999, semi-conference finals in the West. You saw two different players
Mm.
at the same time, exact same time, dominate their side of the court offense, especially Shaq. That was ridiculous, bro.
Yeah,
God
but
yeah.
damn.
do you give with Shaq specifically when he faced Akeem and Akeem dominated him? Do you think do you give Shaq the benefit of the doubt because he was a second year player and Akeem was already 5 and
Established.
6 years into his career already. He was already a
That was
veteran.
one. That was like 10
Yeah, I
when
was
he
about to
did
say,
that. That's like 10, 11 years into
yeah,
the
dude,
game.
yeah. Olajuwon, I mean,
Yeah, good.
Shaq for the most part got, with the exception of David Robinson, those super great centers used to kick his ass, man. Um, yeah, I'm saying your Ewings, your Olajuwons and stuff. Like he really wasn't much of a
And
match for.
He hated Ewing too. You ever
Yeah,
heard
he
the story
really, yeah,
about that?
How
and
When
he
about
should have.
he
how
wanted
about
to
a
shake
prime
Ewing's
Zoe?
hand, and
No, Zoe couldn't dominate Shaq. He wasn't on that level. He wasn't on that. I'm talking about them super great, those top 50 damn centers.
he's talking about Keem. Who else was back then? Keem, or who else was there?
Akeem, Ewing, of
Yeah,
course, like
Ewing.
we mentioned, who the hell? David
I
Robinson,
know who. I
um,
was surprised you guys.
Vladi.
Yeah,
yeah,
Vladdy wasn't great, but Vladdy was
Vladi, yo,
good.
you got Rick Smits.
You got
Like
Shaq on.
those guys used to get their shit off on
Rick
Shaq,
Smith,
bro.
come on now.
I'm just being
Yeah, Rick
honest.
Smith used to
All them
own him,
dudes used to
bro.
get their shit
Who's
off.
Rick Shintz? I never heard of
Rick
him.
Smits was with the
Rick
Pacers,
played
dude.
for the Pacers. He used to do a number on Shaq, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Real talk.
Bro, those were real deal like those.
Yeah.
Those would be the equivalent to damn straight. Like all that Jokic shit, y'all see, man. All them dudes was on that Jokic level then. That's what I'm saying. They don't know. I mean, we've never seen this before. The fuck we haven't. You know,
My
you know what I'm
generation
saying?
refuses to
Mace,
watch
tell him,
tape.
man. Patrick Ewing would have gave Joker the business, dude. All
Yeah, I think Jokic can play with those guys, but those guys will abuse him, bro. You gotta,
that's all I'm saying, dude.
He's
those guys will abuse him.
And if Olajuwon wanted to run all that point center shit, he could have. He
Well,
did. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'll tell you
Olajuwon.
this. In all seriousness,
Olajuwon used to pop
bro,
out for threes in the corner and shit, bro.
imagine,
It's crazy.
Auntie, imagine 1998 Shaq to 2002 Shaq
Oh yeah,
against
no,
Tom.
that was the best Shaq. That was the best Shaq.
No, that was the best Shaq. The
That was
90,
the best Shaq.
98 to 2002, that was pure Shaquille
Well, well,
O'Neal
well, well. Remember, Orlando
dominance.
was trying to keep his weight down, and when he went to LA, they actually let him put that. They let him keep
They
that
let him
weight
put
on
the,
him.
oh my God.
That's what I'm
Just
saying. They let him
watching
keep
that,
that
bro.
extra 30 pounds on him, and he was using it too.
And to answer your question, Tony, earlier, Shaq and Kobe did not get along because if you heard Shaq what he said when he found out he died, he said, "I should have spoke to him more than I ever did." And Shaq got to live with that, bro.
uh, you guys talked about the centers. How about did Shaq when when uh, when Samson was on the floor with Houston? Did Shaq dominate Samson?
Shaq
Nah,
never played
they didn't
Samson.
play against each
Samson's
other.
career
Samson
ended.
was done. Yeah,
He
Samson was
only
done.
played 4 years. Think
Yeah,
about Samson's
Samson
birthday
was
was
done.
4 years.
Because I'm gonna tell you what happened. That motherfucker tore his damn meniscus, and they just
Yeah,
removed it. Like that's crazy. They just
there wasn't
removed
no
the damn
surgery back
meniscus, but I
then,
guess
bro.
that's the way they did it back then. Yeah,
They
just
didn't
to
have
get
the
him back in
medical
time for the
technology
playoffs and cost that man his damn career,
for his
dude.
career. Yeah, birthday was
He's
yesterday.
a you think Samson is one of the biggest what ifs at the center position?
I mean, I don't think it is a what if. We already know what the hell he would have been.
I think Samson was all right in the NBA. I think Elijah clearly. Elijah took the Houston Rockets in 2 years, Tony, to the NBA Finals.
I meant to say Sam Bowie. If it wasn't
Bowie
for
was
his,
too hurt, bro. Bowie
he's Greg Oden
when healthy,
basically.
he was good, but unfortunately, he did his good play in Jersey. He didn't do it in Portland.
Would you say Sam Bowie is basically a Greg Oden?
Yes, but better.
I'll tell you who we never looked. That was Derek Coleman, Syracuse finest. Yeah, man.
If you ever hung around Derek Coleman, and I did, let me tell you, that guy is a piece of work, bro, and one of the great one-liners ever. So what? I don't care. Whoop de damn do. Remember that one?
I
Whoop de
like
damn
Derek Coleman.
do.
Yeah, I
That,
like Derek Coleman back in the day too.
you
But
know what that was about? I remember now. He hated Petrovic, bro. He was so jealous of Petrovic.
Petrovich was no joke, bro.
Hell no.
I think Coleman said he hated playing for Bayheim
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Did most of Bayheim's players hate playing for him?
Not Carmelo.
I was about to say not Carmelo. Yeah, not Carmelo.
But the
Not
majority of
Carl
the guys,
Washington.
Well, you are gonna because Bayheim has. I mean, it was just that system. Like if you've ever like watched Syracuse play, like actually watched them play, bro,
I did.
it's just it's a pretty damn nice system. You know what I'm saying? They will get the shot they want every time. They will get the shot that's drawn up every damn time. You know, Boeheim was one of them super coaches. If you ask me, I know Mace don't like him much,
I
but
can't
I always
stand
like Jim Boeheim as a coach.
he's a running Rebels fan now. Of course, he's gonna hate Bayheim.
Yeah,
bro. I
but
never
yeah,
liked the Big East.
Carmelo liked him because Carmelo had freedom in that system, which is
I'm
rare.
gonna be honest with you. I hated the Big East, bro, back in those days, man. I mean, you know why? I lived here and he grew up here. Everything between 1982 to about what, MT, when the Big East broke up? 2012 when they broke up finally?
Yeah.
For 30 years, everything was Big East this and Big East that. Know what I used to say to that? Where's your pros at? Jordan alone, Worthy, that team of Worthy, Perkins, Jordan, Kenny Smith, and
Kenny
Eric.
Smith.
You can argue Ewing, he is not touching Worthy and Jordan, bro. That was a squad, bro. That was a squad. Carolina, back in those days, that was a squad, bro.
Were any of the Texas teams back then good?
Houston, and they choked all
Houston.
the time.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about like the University of Texas. Was their basketball team good back in the 80s?
It was all right, but they never did anything. I think they, what was the year they went to the Final Four with our boy, what's his face? He's in the commercial. T.J. Ford. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah. I was about to say TJ Ford. TJ Ford was pretty good, man, until he
Yeah, he
fell on his
was.
damn neck.
He broke his neck. Yeah,
Yeah, until he fell on his neck,
unfortunately.
man.
We talk about
That was
what
a
ifs.
gruesome
Me,
one.
if Grant Hill, honestly, I think Grant Hill would have been a great player if he didn't get
But
injured.
yeah.
You know what though? He made the Hall of Fame.
Mm.
So
And rightfully so.
I agree with
College
that.
Hall of Fame, I thought.
You know?
No, he made
I
the
still
Basketball
I'm
Hall
gonna
of Fame.
still say it, bro. Chris Webber has been snubbed again.
You know why he did stuff.
Why does he keep you talk because of college? Because he took some
I
money?
think so.
They all took money.
I know in the money, I think Weber, and I told you the story when me, him, and Greg Anthony on NBA radio, god damn, like 12 years ago. Weber has a certain thing about him that either you like the guy or you hate the guy. I love the guy.
I
I
like
thought
Chris
Chris
Webber
Webber
too.
was real. Plus, you don't see him no more, right? You know
The
why?
hype around the Fab Five, I think.
I'll be honest. I think I know what Chris Webber's issue was, dog.
Well, I know what
He,
it is too,
it was
bro.
them chicks, bro.
Hell
And
yeah.
that's what I think
He
it
took
was.
the Tiger Banks,
I think he
bro.
had a couple of wild nights with the wrong dude's wives.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what happened, bro.
Yep. Yep.
I believe that's what happened.
For
Don't
me,
quote me. I don't know for sure, but I'm like, man,
to me, it's
you must
the
have laid down with
overhyping of the
somebody's
Fab Five.
girlfriend
I
that you
think
shouldn't have.
too.
You know, 'cause-
Go ahead,
To
Tony.
me, to
Tony, go
me,
ahead.
it's the overhyping of the Fab Five. To be honest, I think the Fab Five caused a whole bunch of fans to turn against Weber too.
nah. Now, what Weber
That
came
is,
in the league as a star, man.
we,
He
yeah,
did do a
we
lot
got
of
into that.
whining and stuff in Washington when he was
Oh,
there.
yeah, we got into
So
that.
that kind of messed him up a little bit, but I just
But this
extremely skilled,
man,
and that's why it bugs me out when I see guys like JJ Redick get head coaching jobs, and I don't even hear about Chris Webber even being considered for
bro,
jobs
That's what
or
that's all
Grant
LeBron.
Hill or you know
Let's be honest. That's LeBron right there because LeBron
totally
wants to
agree.
control Redick.
Yep. And did you
I
hear
don't
these
think
people
LeBron
that,
can control Weber. That's why Weber. I don't think Weber and LeBron would constantly be getting in fistfights in practices because LeBron
here,
is too stubborn.
let me
that
jump
was
down,
part of
Mace, man.
it?
I gotta get to work, bro. I'll
Yeah, I
be back
appreciate
up
you
if I
pulling up,
can
man.
be.
Thanks, family.
Nah, man,
Appreciate
thanks
you.
for having me, bro. I'll be back up
Always.
if I can. Peace,
I
man.
may have to do these morning shows every day. Chris
Yeah.
G, what's up? Ross. Thanks, Aunt P, everybody. Moss is in the building. He loves his Michigan Wolverines. Yeah,
Yeah.
Melina told me that Quickly and Scotty Barnes just signed extensions. And Masai Ujiri this morning vowed that he will bring another championship to Toronto.
So, Uncle, do you agree with me a little bit when I say that the overhyping of the Fab Five sometimes turn like hardcore basketball fans against guys like Weber and stuff like that because of the fact that that team was so underachieving that the team that people should have been talking about is the team you always talk about for Michigan. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. And here's the sad part. Moss knows he's in the chat room. That Michigan team's NBA players were 10 times better, except for Weber, than their NBA players. and only two of them made it. Juwan Howard was all right. Jalen Rose was good. Weber was damn
The
good,
star of
but
that
they
team.
weren't. None of them were Glenn Rice. Tell you that right now.
Don't let Weber
They could
fans
do
hear
whatever
you
the
say
hell they
that.
want. Fucking that Michigan team was as good as any team that I've ever seen. And trust me, Manzano, for 3 years, for a decade, the Michigan basketball squad in the 1980s were the biggest underachievers I've ever seen.
Oh,
Really
the Fab
remarkable.
Fives.
No, no, the Fab Five was good. They lost championship games. You can't blame them for that.
Yeah, who did they lose against in that championship game?
They lost
Dang.
to Duke and they lost to Carolina.
And you don't fault them for that because those teams were.
No, I don't. They did. They fulfilled their prophecy. Problem was they didn't win. Now Duke, and I used to hate Duke so much. I still do, but I'm fair.
Yeah,
When he was
you
back
hate
on it,
Leitner.
I don't hate Lakers. I thought he was a great college basketball player.
Why do
I didn't
fans
like
hate
Bobby
Leitner
Hurley.
so much? I don't
I didn't
understand
like
that.
I didn't like Bobby Hurley at all.
Can you explain the hate? Like, why is it that fans hate Christian Leitner so much? Like college
Because
football.
he was a crybaby, that's why. He'll always complain. He was very smug. He was part of that 90210 crap back in the early 90s. Mark
Oh,
don't get rid of that.
he was on that show.
No, what's the name? Wanted him to be there. Tori Spelling. He declined it.
No, and I think the reason why is because uh also that's Coach K's favorite player. To be honest, that's
Not
why.
really. No. You know who Coach K liked? A guy you never heard of. Two players you never heard of. Tommy Amaker and Johnny Dawkins.
Oh, the two coaches.
I guess they're coaching now, but Dawkins and Amaker were
Yeah,
damn good. Dawkins was a great NBA player, but he tore up his knee, and like I said, they didn't have the technology like they do now, and his career
Amaker's
was
the
over.
coach at Tommy Amaker is the coach at Duke now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh no
That
no.
tells you how much I don't watch college basketball anymore.
Oh no. My mistake. Tommy Amaker. He coached at Cincinnati for a little bit.
Yeah.
He was a coach at he coached at those he coached those underachieving Cincinnati teams that had all that talent and stuff like that.
Yeah, Moss is cracking me up. Rice won. I hate Duke, and I'm not fair.
Did 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 Glenn Rice like was Glenn Rice on teams that were underachieving in the NBA?
Yes, he was until they fired the coach and they hired Fisher, and Fisher went 6-0 in the tournament. Nobody knew who the hell Steve Fisher was, and he won the tournament.
No, I'm talking about in the NBA. Glenn Rice. Was he
Glenn
on
Rice
teams
is,
that were underachieving?
no, Glenn Rice did not underachieve in the NBA. No, he did. Glenn
No,
Rice was a damn good basketball player in the NBA. He was great in Miami. He was great in Charlotte.
I thought he was
He,
a did I thought Glenn Rice played a little bit in Atlanta too, didn't
nah,
he?
it was he he got traded for Alonzo Mourning, by the way. He
Oh,
Charlotte Lakers. He won a championship with the 2000 Lakers.
he was on that team with Kobe and Shaq
Yeah,
and and the point guard everybody talks about, Derek Fisher.
yeah.
Mr. Who's
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Clutch? Who's the guy
Horry.
that the Robert Ory?
Yes, yes, Horry.
Where what college did Ory go to?
Alabama.
Were
They
any of
got
those
and the
Alabama
great
teams good?
yeah. And he played he was in my opinion, one of the most underrated drafts in the history of the NBA. The 1992 draft was awesome.
Yeah, I think half of that draft ended up in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yep,
It was him. Who else was in that draft? Uh, no, it was
that
Steve
was
Kerr.
Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, Latrell Sprewell, Leitner. There was
Was
Danny
Houston
Young.
in that draft too?
Who?
Was Allen Houston in that draft too?
Houston came a year later.
Oh, okay,
He
okay.
was in the Penny Hardaway draft. That was
Oh,
Weber, Hardaway. I forgot who else was in that. That was a good draft too. '94 was good. That was
I think
Jason Kidd,
91 was
Grant
underrated
Hill,
too.
Matt Byrne. That was a good draft too.
For me, 91 kind of gets overlooked too.
That was Larry Johnson, Greg Anthony, Stacey. All my rebels went in that draft.
Stacy doesn't get enough respect. I don't know
I
why.
totally agree. I don't know. I don't know
You,
why, but I do agree with you.
he was a great college player, like
It
too.
was
He
that
was
was
on.
the year. That was the year we hit it with the recruiting class. That was the greatest recruiting class in the history of UNLV. Was that was
Wait, was
that,
Tarkanian that coach? Was Stacey Ogman?
yeah, yeah, no, yeah, he was. Yeah, he Altman was the best high school player in the country. Travis Bice, uh, George Ackles, Moses Scary, Larry Johnson, Anderson Hunt. That was that recruiting class at UNLV.
My favorite point guard that nobody talks about was DJ.
Dennis Johnson.
Yeah, you saw him play. How
Mm-hmm.
great was he, Uncle?
Boston or Seattle?
Both.
He
Overall.
was good in Boston. He was ridiculous in Seattle. Won a championship in Seattle.
Oh, he won in Seattle?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He
He
won.
carried that team, or was that team?
That was one of the best backcourts I've ever seen with him and Gus Williams. And you had Sigma up front with
That's
Lonnie
another
Shelton.
center that nobody talks about, Jack Sigma.
Yeah, I know that pisses me off. I'm a huge Sigma fan. When I was 13 years old, I used to go a lot of Knick games because the tickets were $6. So they used to let you go on the court and meet the visiting team and stuff. And when I met Jack Sigma, I looked up. I said, "Man, you tall." He said, "You think?" I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "I know the girls are loving you, right?" He used to have a hair like a woman.
Oh, he had long hair?
Yeah, like a woman. Yeah, they used to call him Goldilocks. The women went crazy for him. Yeah, Sigma was great. Seattle was good back then.
He was a playboy?
Nah, he just the women liked him. Because
No,
women.
no, no, because when you say the way you described him, that's why I said playboy. He's not like a what's his name? The full he wasn't like a great the guy for the Packers. I for your brother's the running back for the Packers in the
Paul
70s,
Hornung.
60s. He wasn't
Paul
like
Hornung.
Paul Horning.
Yeah, he wasn't like Paul Hornung.
Paul was ridiculous, man.
So it was.
But he had the right to be the way he was because he was a great running back.
Yeah, I agree with that.
People forget both the Packers and the team he played in college built the systems around him.
Yeah, it's true. Lombardi and him did not get along too well.
Oh, Horning hated Lombardi?
No, Lombardi had problems with him because he lived that life you're talking about.
Is it the Playboy
You
life?
know what though? He performed on the field. That's all that matters to Vince Lombardi, bro.
Who was
That's
a playboy like for?
don't ever badmouth Lombardi in front of Chris Russo. Chris Russo was loose.
So would you say uh was Lombardi at no was Horning? Would you say Horning was as bad as a Fedorov, where he was chasing one person around that ruined
No,
his career?
Horning was a complete playboy, man.
He's not like Fedorov, where Fedorov was focused
No,
on one
Fedorov,
person.
bro. His career fell off chasing Kornikova. It really did.
And I can understand why. Kornikova was beautiful. I would be doing the same thing. I don't defend it, but I can understand why he was doing it.
Yeah, guys were looking at him sideways, man. Even Pavel said, "Bro, you okay, man?"
half of that Russian, that 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 defective that team is in the Hall of Fame already, right? Most of
Yeah,
them.
Red Army. Yep, Red Army. Yes, they are.
Wait, was Datsuk on that team or was he after?
No, no, he came. He came a little later. I'm glad he's going to the Hall of Fame, though. I am. I'm glad he's going
I'm
to the Hall of
surprised Zetterberg is in the Hall of Fame.
Fame. I was
Or
surprised too when they announced that at the draft. Zetterberg was a great player too. He was.
who did you like between him and Datsuk? Who did you like better?
Datsuk.
Would you say Pavel was a better overall
Oh,
like
Pavel,
center?
of that group, I will rank them. Pavel one, Nogilny two, and then Fedorov. Uh,
Where
uh,
do you have Zetterberg?
Zetterberg ain't Russian. He's German.
Wait, Datsuk is from the Czech Republic. I thought he's not Russian.
Oh, is he really from the Czech Republic?
I think he comes from the same country. I believe he's comes from the same country as uh uh what's his
Yager.
name?
Yager. Yager is
Yager.
Czech Republic.
Yeah, he comes from that same area, but Moss probably would correct me. Moss is, am I correct? Is am I correct uh about about Datsuk? Is he Russian or is he Czech Republic like Yager?
Moss is in the chat. I will talk to Moss in a second.
For you, who is the
Wait,
most underrated team in
he is,
college?
man, no, he is Russian. I got it right here. From Russia.
Oh, he is. He is. Okay.
Yep.
For
I will
you, who
go the group with Ovechkin, and that's Ovechkin,
Kovalchuk,
boy, Kovalchuk, that's don't forget Malkin.
and don't forget Malkin, uh, Pavel Bure.
No, Burry's with Mogilny and Fedorov. Those three are together. And there's one more. And
Slava
oh,
Kozlov.
Kuliskov,
Don't forget Slava.
Kuznetsov. Slava, what? Slava's for the old days. Slava is with Festisov. What's his face? My boy Makarov.
Oh, I thought
That's old Red Army. That's 80s Red Army, late 80s.
is Bondra around that the same time as the Red Army, or was he
Which guy?
was Peter Bondra around that same time too?
Bonja is from. I think Bonja is with Yaga. I think Bonja is from the Czech Republic.
No, no, I'm saying is he around the same era as that the Red Army team of the late '90s? late '90s, the
Bonds?
Detroit teams.
I think Bonds is with Bure and McGill.
Konstantinov in them.
Yeah. Augman and Rodman, two of the best defensive players ever. Larry Johnson. I like Hunt and Anthony so much. Good combo. Yes, they were, 'cause they both can. Well, everybody on that team can play defense. That's what made them so good.
Who's Hunt? I never heard of him.
Anderson Hunt, he was the shooting guard.
Yeah, no. So a lot of the team, a lot of that, half of that Russian army team from the late '90s with uh, Fedorov would look at him sideways, chasing around that woman.
Yeah, but the reason why they let it go was they're all Russian. So he kept it in the family. So they're like, bro, if that's what you want to do, then go ahead, bro. You can run 2 Stanley Cups. Go ahead, run around. He won 3 Stanley Cups by now, okay?
He fell off after that, right?
Sure did. He
That's
was
the
really
biggest fall from grace I've ever seen, to be honest.
oof. Federer? Well, Detroit was getting Datsuk and Zetterberg. They was getting new blood in there. So, after they won the third and Scotty Bowman retired, that whole team changed. Really did. Team changed.
Yeah, because they replaced Hasek with Osgood, I think, right?
No, they replaced Hasek. They replaced Osgood with Hasek.
And they still won a championship, right?
2008, yeah. Red Wings had a great run.
Would you
And
say
the other
Hasek
team,
was
they got
better as
caught up.
a Red Wing? Would you say Hasek was better as a Red Wing or an Islander
He never played for
or
Islanders. He
Sabers? Sabers, my mistake.
Sabres, not even close.
Even though he won a championship with the
With Detroit, he was
yeah,
better with Buffalo. Buffalo
and
was his career.
how
He
deep
was
were those
awesome.
Buffalo teams with Hasek?
They were damn good because they had Gilney and they had Pat LaFontaine.
LaFontaine.
LaFontaine was good before his back went out. He was real good.
Would you say a lot of people say LaFontaine was arrogant?
He was because he was a pretty boy. Remember when he came up, the Islanders was the dynasty of the sport. So Al Arbor wasn't going for his BS, and then when Arbor got tired of him, he got rid of him.
So he was the Jeremy Roenick of his era, basically.
Nah, he's more like Houston Chuck.
He, no, Jr. I'm so happy that Jr. finally got into the Hall of Fame.
I am too.
Why did it take so long?
He met a lot of enemies, man. JR is one of these guys that he talks too much.
Hey, Pete, what's up?
Got too many enemies, bro. And no, Pete, I'm not doing the Dolphins in here, bro. So don't even bother, bro.
No, he's asking you who the division winners are going to be this year.
In football,
Yeah.
uh, AFC Dolphins, Browns, Texans, Chiefs.
Wait,
NFC,
why do you have the Browns over the Ravens?
because they're the best. They are the most complete team in football. Them and the 49ers.
The issue is the quarterback, though. Can you trust Deshaun to stay healthy?
I do, yes. I do not have a problem with Cleveland.
Who are your division winners in the uh, NFC?
NFC, uh, I'm gonna go definitely Eagles, Lions, 49ers and Tampa. And I got Browns, Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Honestly, I'll shock everybody. I can see the Packers winning that division.
Uh, they could, but for them to win that division,
Something has to seriously go wrong with golf.
the defense got to play well. And I'm not buying their defense until I see it for myself.
Not all the hype they're getting.
They're getting the hype because of the quarterback. That's why they're getting the hype.
let 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 let's hope uh what's his name, Jordan Love, doesn't start, like, doesn't have the fan base turn against him like they did with what's his name.
I think Jordan Love's going to be just fine.
You don't think the fan bases
They
get
love
turned
him.
on him?
Hey, I keep telling you, Tony. Aaron Rodgers is dead to those people up there, bro.
Oh Jesus! Like, I understand you're upset, but that's taking it a little bit too far.
Tony, let me ask you something, okay? Pete, if you're in the chat room, let me ask you this: if Tua Tagovailoa, let's say, win a Super Bowl this year, right? And you never see him win again, but you never see him get back to it, but he's putting Hall of Fame numbers. Ain't you gonna get tired of him?
Uh, Honestly, yes, maybe.
Exactly. Well, that's the Green Bay fan. They saw Rodgers win 14 years ago. He had never got back to a Super Bowl.
And this is what I hate about fans. Fans forget it's hard to get to the Super Bowl. Like, it's honestly the one thing I hate about fans in general. They make it seem like it's easy to get to uh, a a World Series, a Stanley Cup, an NBA championship, and the Super Bowl and a World Cup. People forget it's hard. Like,
But Tony, can I ask you a question then? Okay. How come Patrick Mahomes has been to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls?
he's on
Is it
another
that
level.
hard? And he's gone against some of the best quarterbacks to get there. And last year, he went on the road and beat Buffalo and beat Lamar Jackson on the road.
But let's be honest. Patrick Mahomes is on another level. You agree?
Then Aaron Rodgers was?
Yes, yes. I
Oh,
have
you
to admit,
crazy, bro.
I'm
You
I'm
crazy.
I'm an Aaron fan, but I think Patrick is way better
I will take Rodgers any day of the week.
over
You
Patrick.
talking Rodgers from 2009 to 2021? Rodgers was better, bro. Just look at the numbers. I'm gonna tell you what hurt Aaron Rodgers, and
Ego.
this is sad. What I'm about to say. When things don't go well, he's the type of guy that he soaks on the sidelines, right? Patrick Mahomes is the type of guy when things don't go well, he rallies the team.
I think I see. I think Aaron has, like, he just, that's a one difference between him and Brett. Brett energized the team and stuff like that. Pat uh uh Aaron has, honestly, Aaron has that Marino personality, where Marino, like, he wasn't really energized. Like, I've seen videos of Marino on the sideline where he really doesn't energize the team. Like, he sulks if nothing's going his way.
Not Marino. Marino will rally the troops, man. I don't know what you talking about.
No. What old school quarterback would you compare him to then,
Who?
Aaron?
With that?
Like,
Aaron? Oh, Marino.
No, in terms of like that personality where Aaron, if nothing's
Oh,
going his
I know what you're talking about now. Steve Young.
Steve was like that.
Yeah, Steve
I,
Young.
w- I would say maybe a Bradshaw.
Nah, hell no.
No, not Bradshaw. There was a guy in the 70s that was like that too. I can't remember. It's not the guy for Kansas City because I saw videos of the guy and he would rally his troops. Len Dawson,
Nah, Len Dawson rallied the troops, man.
maybe Captain America was a whole different story.
Yeah, Starbuck never gave up. Roger the Dodger never gave up.
You
Roger the
you had the
Dodger.
perfect comparison. Steve Young.
Yeah, Steve Young would give up. Plus, his teammates didn't really. Jerry Rice really didn't believe in him until he finally won the Super Bowl.
Half of that team didn't really like Steve Young because they replaced Montana.
Exactly. Right on the money, Tony. Right on the money.
Well, which is kind of like that's where I feel bad for Steve that the 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 team hated him. It wasn't his fault that the team drafted him.
They didn't draft Steve Young. They traded for
No, that's what I'm saying. I meant to say trade for him. Trade for him.
him because Bill Walsh. I'm the genius. I know more than you ever know. So he was better than Montana.
He's Mr. Bill Walsh is Mr. I created football.
Yep. He was definitely one of those coaches.
So he's the football equivalent of a Bobby Valentine, basically.
Yes.
Do you think you would get along with Bill Walsh?
No. No.
Like in terms of like being able to have a good conversation with him.
No.
You said you were able to have a decent conversation with Bobby V, though.
I have. I used to see him at a sports bar, and I used to go up to Stamford, Connecticut. Yeah,
Who
nice
wait?
guy.
Who was
I
a
told
coach
you
in
about my
hockey
friend.
that was like that?
Say again.
Who was equivalent to Bobby V in hockey?
Um,
Is it Tortorella?
it's not Colorado. Who would be like Bobby V? Think he invented the game? Uh,
I was gonna say Lindy Ruff.
Lindy's a good dude though. Oh man, that's a good question. Probably,
Scotty Bowman.
yes, Scotty Bowman is like that. Yes, yes, definitely Scotty Bowman. You play his way or you don't play.
No, like you say you can have a decent conversation with a guy like Bobby V. Do you think you would be able to even have a conversation with Scotty Bowman?
Yes, number one, to get these great coaches' attention, I wouldn't say kiss their ass, but bring up some old memories. When they do that, they know that you're real, and they'll talk to you. That was the
Before he
beautiful thing.
passed, were you able to?
No, Scotty's still alive.
No. Uh, Before he passed away, did you ever have a chance to talk to a guy like a Shula or a Snellenberger?
No, I wish I did.
Those guys would be an interesting conversation because they
I,
were in different they coached through three different eras of the sport of football.
I totally agree.
Uh, People forget. Wasn't Shula on the? Didn't he coach the? Wasn't he on the on that Indianapolis Colts team with Unitas? Didn't he coach
Yeah, he
that team?
coached Unitas. Yeah, he coached Unitas.
Okay.
Shula was one of these coaches that was a brilliant football mind. He learned under the great Paul Brown.
Paul.
Shula was really kind, bro. And they don't make coaches like Shula, Lombardi, Chuck Noll anymore, bro.
And who was on? Wait, what? The Giants. Who was on that Giants coaching staff again? I know it was Lombardi. Uh,
Tom Landry. That was it. Back in those days, you only had two other coaches, bro.
on the great those Giants teams of the 60s, 50s, and
And the
60s.
50s, yeah. Like the Dolphins, right? This is how Shula did it. He had an offense coordinator, a defensive coordinator, offensive line coach, defensive line coach, a linebackers coach, secondary. No, he coached the secondary himself.
Oh, so he was the one coaching Jake, the original 13, and
17
what's his?
and 0. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know he was a DB's coach. I thought he was like
because he played DB in the NFL.
Sula.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you're
sure
on.
did.
See, and this is where I don't get why fans say. For me, I the greatness. I give Belichick the credit, but to me, Shula, taking my fandom away, I think Shula's still the greatest coach of all time. Do you agree with me?
Uh, I'm gonna go Shula over Belichick for 1 week.
Undefeated.
I got one better. Shula went up against the greatest coaches of all time. Belichick did.
Yeah, he
Who's the only one that Belichick really went up against? Andy Reid.
uh Tony Dungy.
Dungy's good, but I don't look at Dungy as an all-time great.
Uh the my God, I was gonna say Coughlin, but no.
Coughlin's a hell of a coach. I don't like him personally for what he did against Marino, but he did something that no other coach has ever done. Tony, he beat Belichick and Brady twice in the Super Bowl.
How about the how about Harbaugh?
John Harbaugh, he only won one Super Bowl. He hasn't won anything since. Matter of fact, the Ravens have never been back since.
Oh, Pete Carroll.
Pete's a great coach because he won in college and pro.
There's not a lot like there was good coaches, but I agree with you. There wasn't great coaches.
Yeah. Um, I,
And
I,
for you, who had the you've seen multiple coaches in the NFL. Who had the greatest sound bites in terms of interviews? Where they were a
either,
character, where they would say crazy stuff.
either Mike Dick or Jim Moore.
How about Dennis Green? Denny.
He's okay. I used to love his commercials. God bless his soul.
Entertaining. The guy, uh, I he coached one season in the NFL, but they say his interviews were pretty entertaining. Glanville.
Yes. The NFL means not for long, and if you don't win games, you're not going to be here for long.
Was he the one that replaced Landry in Dallas?
No, no, he never coached Dallas. Dallas was Landry, Jimmy Johnson, And then
the Oklahoma
Parcells,
coach.
yeah, Barry Switzer, I forgot.
Was Barry a good coach in the NFL, or was he a one and done type thing?
He won with Jimmy's players. That's why he never got the respect.
Oh, Glanville was the Oilers, right?
Yep, Warren
With
Moon.
the run
Yeah.
and was it run and shoot or run and gun?
Red Gun.
Red gun.
Yeah, Red Gun.
Yeah.
Bringing back some memories, Tony. That's why I'm smiling. Bringing back some memories.
My my favorite story with a coach was the Bobby Paterno Bobby
Bobby Petrino,
Petrino. He-
that was crazy, man. That was crazy.
How an NFL team allowed him to do that? It was
Falcons,
beyond.
Falcons was real bad. Michael Vick went to jail. It was like a complete collapse in Atlanta back then.
No,
It was
no.
bad. It was bad for
How
you.
how no, my question is how the owner at the time of the Falcons allowed him to go straight, like he was still under contract with the coaching, he was still under contract with the Falcons. How the owner back then allowed him to begin coaching at the same time in
Because they
Arkansas?
were so bad, Tony, that Arthur Blank, what he's going to do? I mean, players couldn't stand Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino's a half-ass coach in the NFL, so he let him go. The team was at rock bottom, bro. Falcons hit rock bottom when Michael Vick went to jail.
And the funny part of that story is the pig suey call after as soon as he got to Arkansas.
Still can't get over how the Dolphins took Jake Long over Matt Ryan. I still can't believe that, bro.
How different would it have been if if they had given full power to Saban? Would the team be in a different place? You think?
I think if they would have, if you want the truth, if they would have hit on Breeze, okay, I understand that mistake. What Parcells did was inexcusable, bro. He didn't even give Matt Ryan an interview, bro.
Oh, what?
He didn't give him an interview.
He didn't like
You know
Ryan or
what?
something?
Don't you do Google Parcells April 2011, the interview he gave with Mike Tirico on ESPN. At least he was honest. So he made a mistake. He should have gave Matt Ryan an interview. Matt Ryan would have been Dolphins quarterback. Dolphins would at least went to one or two Super Bowls at least. Even with Brady there. Because Brady, you gotta remember something. New England got lucky to beat Seattle. Remember, New England went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl before they won again. People seem to forget that.
No, and people forget also. I can understand the like hindsight being what it is. Looking back on it, I can see why they drafted, because I would rather build the offensive line first than get the quarterback, because look at what happened with Houston and David Carr. They refused to build the offensive line and he got injured. His
Yeah,
career
yeah, Tony,
got ruined.
Tony, you know what though?
What?
Jake Long only played 1 year with Ryan Cannon.
Jacob.
Okay?
Oh, he got injured most of the time with Miami.
Yeah, you gotta remember one thing. Ryan Tannehill didn't have an offensive line to 2016, and he got hurt late that year.
Yeah, and people for that's what I hate. They forget Tannehill didn't really have good receivers.
Exactly. Offensive
Oh,
line.
and the offensive line constantly got injured. The only offensive line was that unicorn offensive line, but Brandon Albert got hurt.
Yep.
during the middle. Incognito got suspended,
Right.
and who Mike Pouncey was getting injured, out of the lineup all the time. Who was their
Right.
right tackle? My God,
He was a soft guy. I forgot his name. He came from Tennessee. He was soft, man. He was their number one
Jawan
pick in
Jones.
20.
Jawan Jones.
Yeah, yeah, that guy. Yeah. He was soft.
And we had Lermy Tunsil on that offensive line, right?
Yeah, he
Too.
played guard his first year. Yeah, that's why the offensive line was so good. And we had this guy as the running back.
Uh, Jay Ajayi.
Yeah, and this guy hated him, bro. Believe it or not. Who was that
Adam
coach?
Gase.
He couldn't stand him, bro. You
Hey,
know
Uncle,
why,
are you
right?
doing a? I'm gonna jump off. Are you gonna do
Hey,
another
Tony,
show
if you
today?
could, man. Nah, I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
no, you
because
know what? You know
I
what?
forgot to
No,
mention.
Tony,
Did you
Tony,
see the?
Tony. I'll be back tonight. I'll be back tonight.
Oh, did
7:30. I'll
before
be
I
back.
jump off? Did you see the? Did you see? I'm moving away from Lori Marketing because there's no way in hell Danny Ainge is gonna give Miami Lori Marketing without asking for the house. So I think the more realistic trade is probably a Braden Ingram from
Yeah, you could. I think Riley will make a move. He better make a move. If he don't, you know what the thumbnail is going to be? Tony accepted.
Trouble in Paradise. Pat, honestly, I
Inferno
think
in paradise.
Pat to me Pat doesn't, as a Heat fan, Pat really doesn't need to prove anything to me anymore because he brought 3 championships for me
Hey, let
as
me
a
ask you this. Remember I told you the night the Panthers won the Stanley Cup, I was going on Big O's show, right?
yeah.
That night, Big O was on live. I went on the air and I congratulated him. I congratulated him. And he remembered who your boy was. He said, "You know why I remember you?" I said, "How?" He said, "Jordan Love."
Oh, he gave you credit?
Yeah,
Wow.
of course. Yeah, me and Big O go. Me and Big O. And I'm glad he gives me shout outs a lot, bro. He gave me a shout out the other day. We go back 7 years together, bro, in Miami radio, bro. He told his whole audience. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't worry,
no,
I'll get him
no.
on. Because he told me when I want him, he'll pull up. So I'll get him on. Hey. Pete used to be there with me. Pete used to get banned from his room.
No, Pete would I was in the chats with Pete. He would Pete would constantly get blocked because he would criticize Tua too much.
Yeah, man. No, I was there with Pete way before they got to us, bro. That was what, 2018, 2019?
Oh
Yeah.
no, I can't remember. I think he got blocked twice for defending Tannehill too.
Yeah, man. Hey, Tony, I'll see you tonight, man.
Okay, bye. Have a good night.
Appreciate you, man. You have a good afternoon.
You too.
Who else is in here? All right, everybody, you have a good afternoon. I'll be back tonight for the NBA. You see the headline where the inmates always run the asylum. That's right. The inmates run the asylum in India. Thanks to Pete, Moss, Raven, Melina, Brother Love, Chris G, Auntie Manzano, and you guys in the clouds on X on uh yeah, I keep it Twix, uh Twitch. There you go. NIG. I'll see you guys tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time. Enjoy your day. Thank you for being here, everybody. Appreciate it.